And today I'm sharing with you our Brighten and Bloom Spring Facial. I love this facial because at the end of summer, oftentimes our skin is in need of a little extra hydration, a little extra love. And so this facial meets that need. I just love it. So, we are going to be doing a facial that's a professional strength facial. This is a facial that you could even get. You can even get, yeah, you could even get this from an esthetician out there and make an appointment and schedule it. And it's a wonderful facial. I recommend doing that because it is so relaxing. It smells so wonderful, and it is good to get treated that way. But if you don't want to schedule an appointment, you want to still get those great results, you can do this facial for yourself at home. I've linked all the products underneath the description so you can go through and check those out. Celine is a happy recipient of our facial today. So we will get started on this. This is a Sorella Apothecary facial. So everything I'm going to be using is from that line. This line is an amazing professional strength line. They pull on the most cutting edge ingredients and botanicals that are out there. And everything smells so lovely, feels really lovely, and actually really has a positive effect on the skin. You really see the results when you are doing these products at home. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do with Celine is we're going to double cleanse her skin so that we have a nice clean palette to start with. Celine, with the end of winter here, do you have any cleansing or skincare concerns that you would like me to address in your facial today? Anything going on that's bothering you or that you're thinking about?
My skin's been pretty happy with this transition.
Okay, so she's got a little congestion and I can feel it. Little congestion around her chin, a little bit right here in the cheek area, and then I can see a little bit of congestion on her forehead. So we're going to take care of that today. A little bit more of this cleanser. The first thing I'm using here is the apricot mango cleanser.
Smells so good.
Smells so good. This is a creamy cleanser, so it's going to break down your sunscreen. It's going to break down any makeup that you're wearing. And it just feels so good to have your massage your skin. And when you're doing this facial at home, super important to do this massage on yourself. Do a full 2 minutes of a cleansing massage in this facial, and your skin will love you. It really moves the lymph along. It really helps moisture and water to permeate and get into the skin and create that hydration that we're after. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of water, getting my hands wet, and I'm going to massage a little bit again. Today, throughout the show, you can pipe up with questions. I'll probably be checking the comments and answering questions at the end of the treatment so that we can get through the treatment. If I stop and start answering questions, we'll just get held up. It'll take too long. Okay, grabbing a couple of Lux cloths. These are cloths that we have here at Art of Skincare that are perfect at the sink or anywhere. I like to use them for removing my cleanser. They're wonderfully soft. They have charcoal in them, so they're antimicrobial. They also kind of act like magnets to help pull and remove anything that's in the skin, makeup or sunscreen. It really helps to just pull all that out. Sorry, I'm scratching her. There is a little tag in here, and it says Lux Art of Skincare. And you do have to be careful not to scratch your face with that, but this is perfect for hanging it up to dry. But yeah, sorry about that, Celine.
Okay, I was just
Want to keep that off the face. I don't want to leave little scratch marks and it doesn't feel good. Okay, now we're going to dive into the second cleanse. For a second cleanse, I always choose a gel cleanser because a gel cleanser is going to break that water tension on the skin, that barrier tension, so that hydration and all the great serums and everything can really penetrate down into the skin. So let's go ahead and grab. We're going to use Orange U Jelly Cleanser for our second cleanser. This is a fabulous cleanser. It has turmeric in it, it's anti-inflammatory and I love it. So you'll notice my hands are dry. Her skin is pretty much dry. And that's the way I always apply my cleansers, whether it's a creamy cleanser or a gel cleanser. It's going straight on my face first and working it in a little bit.
I haven't used this cleanser in a while. Oh my gosh.
She's liking the smell. It's so good. Now I'm getting wet, getting my hands wet, and I'm going to emulsify and foam up. See that nice little foam coming up now and really get that nice massage going. A cleansing massage is my favorite part. I like getting a cleansing massage and I like giving one too. Raise my chair up a little more. Where's that handle? There it is. That way I can get up in here a bit better. There we go. That was too short. Little more water. Okay. Really nice and clean, relaxed. And I'm using my Lux cloths. I wish you guys could see my studio right now, my treatment room. My 100-pound dog is laying next to us and he's snoring. He's so comfortable, so relaxed. He's snoring quite loud right now. They will. It's inevitable if I'm filming a video. The gardeners are going to come out with those big noisy blowers and start blowing. And it's been that kind of day already that, of course, it's going to happen. But we can just ignore it. I mean, that's what they teach in meditation, that you can sit in the middle of a big noisy street and just quiet your mind and go into that special place. So we're going to go into Gina's special treatment room place
Mhm.
and ignore that blower outside. We'll use the sound of the blower to drive us deeper into our self ritual. Okay, now her skin is ready for some exfoliation. Before I do that, I want to give her a treat because in this facial recipe, I actually have you use the watermelon mint hydration mist 3 times. So this will be time number one. Celine, I'm going to mist over your face, so don't be startled. If you don't like misting or water blowing on your face, get your hands wet with it and then pat it on your skin. So many people don't like water spraying near their eyes, and that's okay. You just spray it in your hands and then pat it on. Works just as well. I like the mist coming over me because it feels like a waterfall. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, those negative ions are so good. All right, now we're going to move into what I think of with this facial is probably the highlight of the facial, my most favorite thing. And we're going to be using Sorella's newest product. That is the Sorella Melt Away Cleansing Balm. And I'm mixing it with the grapefruit polishing powder. So we're getting some enzyme action, a little acid action mixed in with Melt Away. It's going to turn Melt Away into a gommage. So Melt Away on its own smells fabulous, feels fabulous, but I love mixing it with this grapefruit polishing powder. Melt Away itself is this beautiful, calming, soothing color. I use one of our AOS gua sha wings to scoop it out. So I get a nice little bit on there, put it into my hand, take my powder. Oh, sorry, just got a little itch. Take my powder, add the powder into it, and then I mix it together in my hand. And immediately the powder melts, but it still has a little tiny bit of smooth grit to it. So it feels really fun on the skin.
It also smells good.
Ah, she loves the smell of
I
it.
just think Sorella products smell better than anything. I have not found anything that smells better than Sorella. Every time it's like, oh yeah, it smells so good.
And I think that's important. For some people, it's important to have no scent. For me, I like a little bit of scent because it just has that triggers that emotional response of really relaxing. What is the difference between the powder enzyme from Sorella and Dr. Estee powder? And there was more to that question, but I can answer a little bit while we're here. So I'll come back to it later when we do all our questions. But the difference between these powders is that Dr. Essay is a purely enzymatic polish, and it's really the difference in the ingredients. And the grapefruit polishing powder is going to be a little more exfoliating because it has some acids in with it. I believe it's salicylic. Is it salicylic, Selena, or am I off on that?
Salicylic and maybe lactic.
Maybe salicylic and lactic.
I
And
did.
look at the ingredients on the ingredient list. We can look at it a little bit too.
And the
So
grapefruit stays a little bit more like gritty foams,
it
but
has
also
more
more
texture.
texture in it, I feel
Yeah.
like. Whereas, yeah, the Dr. Essie just turns into foam.
Yes, Dr. SA becomes just this nice, slippery, smooth feeling where the grapeseed polishing powder is going to feel a little bit more gritty. And we tend to mix grapefruit polishing powder with other things quite a bit. We mix it with that apricot mango cleanser. I love that. Many people like to mix it with the oil that we'll be using in the facial, and you could do it that way. But since they came out with this melt away, I don't mix it with the oil anymore. I mix it with melt away. This is so great. Now, the way I like to finish with this mask is with a nice hot towel. You can make hot towels for yourself at home. The trick to making a good hot towel is you're probably going to want to use a crock pot to keep it warm. And you're going to want to really check it when you take it out because you can burn yourself. It gets so hot. But before you put it in the crock pot, you're going to want to you want to get your towel wet. You can see here my towels are wet. You roll them up. So my towels are like this, fold it in half again, roll it up, and then you're going to wring every last drop of water that you can get out of that towel. And then you're going to put it into your crock pot. You don't want a lot of water. You don't want water dripping all over when you're taking it out or putting it on. It'll feel like you're drowning when you put that on your face, and it gets even more too hot. So my towels, I love preparing my towels in the morning, but they're in a bowl of really nice warm water. A lot of times I like to put a little bit of essential oil or something in there to make them smell really yummy. And then I wring them out. It's my workout, wringing those towels out.
Once upon a time, job at our artist spotlight
I
in the morning.
trained, yes, when Celine was in high school,
Mhm.
she'd come in and wring those out, make my towels for me in the morning. She was a pro at it. So when she got to esthetician school, she was already trained. How's that feel, Celine?
Really nice.
The temperature's good?
Mm.
All right. I usually like to leave the towel sitting on there, not for a specific amount of time. I just leave it on until it loses its warmth. While I'm doing that, while it's doing that, I'll get my next products ready. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the facial nectar. This is a wonderful, wonderful seed oil, completely acne safe. And I'm going to be doing our lymphatic drainage massage and a little bit of fascia release as well. And these are our AOS wings. It's the wing gauche tool. So we'll be using those. This is such a nice, gentle, and renewing exfoliation. And for some people who have really dry skin and they feel like exfoliation makes them too dry, this does not do that because we're using the melt away with all the fabulous seed oils in it. And then we are mixing it with the acid and enzyme. So that acid enzyme combination is going to be breaking down the skin cells, digesting them away. And then that oil, those seed oils from the melt away, can really penetrate. All right, here it comes again, the waterfall watermelon mint experience. When I'm doing this in the facial treatment room, I usually start off to the side. So if you're an esthetician watching, the tip is to start to the side and then work your way over so that you're not immediately hitting their face and they don't startle. So they kind of hear it and then they're ready for it. Now I am going to put a little bit of this in my hand as well. Mixing your seed oils with a hydrating spritz is the way to go, always. Let's put several drops of this in since we're doing a massage. I need 6 or 7 drops. The skin is 70% water. So even though you need oil, and oil is going to help prevent water evaporation from the skin, you still have to really feed and nourish the skin with water, water-based ingredients. And here comes the wonderful part. I'll drying here. This is where I'm going to grab our wings. So when we think about just simply moving lymph away from the face, we're thinking of outward motions. And then we think about draining the lymph down and then clearing it out from our collarbones. And a lot of times I start at the chest just to make an open pathway. This way, that pathway is open and this lymph is going to have somewhere to go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right up to the top. Let's start by just some draining movements. When I use this device too, let me give you some hints here. We're not going straight onto the skin like that. I am actually making a little angle so that I have a little drag. Can you see that's different? If I went like this is what I don't want to do. What I want to do is drag that lymph. So I'm slightly, it's almost like I've been teaching my granddaughter how to butter toast. It's almost like buttering toast. You need a little angle to drag it along. Some drainage movements on the forehead. Come in on the eyes. And I'm going a little bit faster than I would if I were doing this treatment without being on video. Simply because, and I can tell if it starts to drag, it means that you need a little more oil. Could you feel that, Celine? Like, I
Maybe a
need a little bit. So let's add a little more oil. I want to have nice slip, but not too much. But her skin is sucking it up. So her skin was a little dehydrated. There we go. That ought to do the trick. Using my round edges, I want to do 3 to 5 repetitions in each area. I get above the eye now, just right along that brow bone. And pressure is light. I probably need even lighter pressure than I'm using now. It's really the weight of the stone, and that's it. We're not pushing down into the skin. It's not like we're doing a deep tissue release on our face. It's not about that. It's about moving those interstitial fluids. And it's so important to get those fluids moving and keep them healthy because that's the bed of all your cellular activity. That's where collagen is being made. And all these things are happening and being transferred. All these messages and signals are being transferred through that interstitial fluid. So we want to have that moving and the lymph moving. So now I'm coming down and getting just under her cheekbone. See if you can see that on there. Yeah. You can use 2 of these tools on yourself, but practice first. Get good at it. As an esthetician, I've trained my left hand to be almost as good as my right hand, so I can use both hands. But it takes a little practice. Now, Celine really doesn't have a lot of facial tension. She's just 30. I'm not seeing expression lines on her face or her forehead. So I'm not worrying too much about fascia release. But if you want to work on some of those little tension areas like I have right here, that's what the serrated edge is for. So if she had some tension between her brows, I could come in here and do some movements cross hatching across those tension lines and do some release through there. She had some here. I could come in this area. I could come in along the lips and I can work that tension around the mouth area. She doesn't have any of that. She's a beautiful young thing. She's not too tense. She's taking good care of herself and her skin. So now I'm working down to that jawline. And so this area around the mouth and under here are lots of lymph glands. So these are areas that we really want to work on releasing that lymph. It's going to reduce the little bit of sagging that we can get here and this puffiness through here. And it's just so good for your system to get that lymph moving. It's part of having healthy, vibrant skin and just a healthy vibrancy everywhere for your whole body. I often like to take the little ends here, and those fit so nicely on that jawbone. Sometimes when you're doing this on yourself, you might notice you're going along and all of a sudden you feel like a little bump or a little kind of catch. Sometimes that is a little knot under there. We call those in esthetician terms, we call those little crystals that need to be broken up. You can go back and forth a little bit on that and help release those. Sometimes they'll even make the skin go bright red, and that's okay. We're just breaking up that tension in there, getting stuff moving. And so she does have, she's probably a little bit of a grinder. So she has some tension under here and tongue. She probably clenches her tongue. So she could do some exercises where she sits up real straight, tips her head back, and then sticks out her tongue. Things to help release that tension under here. And of course, getting in here with her tools. And already, oh my goodness. So this was very bumpy along here, and it's already starting to smooth out. Much better. Let's do the other side. And it's not as much tension on this side. And sometimes what happens is our body communicates. There's a little bit right there. It communicates one side to the other and lets it know, okay, we need to let that go. There it is right there. And sometimes if it's painful, is there any pain in using these in this area, Celine?
No.
But for some clients, it will be. If it's a or yourself, if it's painful going through and doing this area with your gua sha tools, use your hands. Our hands are our best beauty tool. I preach this all the time. Your hands are your best beauty tool. So get in here with your fingers and just slowly pull that back. With my fingers, I can even get a little bit more up underneath that bone there and really drain that back. Sometimes when doing lymphatic drainage on myself, it's hard to get your arms in those angles. A lot of times I use the sides of my hands. So I'll just use my sides of my hands like that gua sha tool, and I'm just pulling that back. Just imagine there's just thick liquid under your skin and you're just gently pulling that all back. And then we're going to start moving it down. We want this lymph to go down and drain out. So you can do this with your hands, using the edges of my thumbs. And I can do that with my tools using my wing side, my smooth side. Again, as I'm doing this, I'm not going directly on the skin on the edge. I'm dragging it. I can pull some from this area under the chin, back towards under the ears, and then pull that down. And then again, coming in here, and this is where I like my hands. If you're doing the gua sha tools on yourself on your chest, you know how much pressure to use. But for me, I've done this so much with my hands. I know what I want to get in here and do with my hands. So I'm taking my thumbs, pushing them right on top of the collarbones, and just gently dragging that out. It's going to release tension and it's going to release that lymph. Getting on the other side of the collarbone. Again, it's on those upper ribs. I'm getting in between those little ribs and I'm pulling out. Now, some of you will discover if you try and do that on yourself that, wow, there's some tension here that actually some people it can be so painful you can barely push on it. You'll want to do this movement anyway, just use less pressure. But and sometimes it'll turn really bright red here, and that's okay. It means that you need this. It's good for you. We've got to get that lymph moving. That stagnant energy has to go. Part of our radiance is moving this lymph, yeah, I mean, you could call it different things in different terms. I mean, you could say moving your chi along or moving your energy along, but really we're moving those interstitial fluids, we're moving the lymph, and all of that contains the vital energies that keep us alive and moving and healthy. It's all so interrelated. So I'm just taking a little bit for her. It's not so easy to do on yourself, but for her, just pushing it out. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Lux cloth again. This time I'm going to grab the extra large. This one is my favorite at home, and it's what I use at home. In the treatment room, I like our small squares. They're a little easier to use, and you can put one in each hand. But when I'm at home, I like one cloth, and this is it. This cloth so perfectly fits around the face. So in this facial, you're just going to use your warm water on a cloth, and we're just going to remove any surface oil that is left on the skin. In a way, this is kind of a triple enzyme facial, which is something I'd love to do in the spring. So we've done our melt away with the grapefruit polishing powder. Now we're going to put on the peach and honey mask. So that's going to have a little bit of exfoliation action and a whole lot of hydrating action. Then we're going to follow that up with the vitamin C and fruit pads. So we're going to have 3 layers of exfoliation in this facial. So here we go again. Watermelon mist. Get myself. Okay, got my peach and honey mask. And I've got a little spatula. Reach in here and get it out. I'm going to put mine today into a little cup that I have. I've got my Sorella mask brush. And it doesn't take a whole lot. I'm gonna come in here and just gently spread it. Now, Celine, this is going to feel a little bit cool
Okay.
because I didn't pre-warm it. Her face is already looking so smooth and so glowy. Turn it this way a little bit. It's
Mhm.
amazing. So adding our peach and honey. Honey is such an amazing humectant, helps to increase your natural microbiome. So you've got good flora on the skin. Smells really good. It was a little bit dry, and it's really common to have some stagnant chi, stagnant energy right here. And you can feel it in dryness. And we also felt it in those little lumps and bumps that she had kind of in that lymphatic area. So that tells us she's got stagnation going on. When you have those bumps under the skin, those ridges on your jaw, the lymph isn't moving, you're going to have skin issues. So it shows up all the way out to the skin. So this area under her skin, when I was massaging and everything and checking her skin at first, it felt kind of dry under here. It didn't feel nice like this skin out here. So we are doing a lot by moving that energy out of that area. She can have better collagen production, better cell renewal, and keep this area nice and firm. If this is stagnant, the energy, just think as you age, it's also going to get looser and looser right here, right? So we want to keep that area energized and healthy. Go right over her lips. How's it feel, Celine?
Feels fine.
Any tingling or stingling?
No, not really.
Just a little lively?
Cooling feeling, yeah.
Cooling. Okay, cooling feeling. That's a good thing. Now, I like to get in here with my fingers just a little bit, and I'm barely on the surface of the skin, and I'm just doing a little bit of massaging it around, make sure I have a nice even coverage. And again, though, I'm so light on the skin. It's less than the weight of a dime. It's like the weight of a feather, like finger tracing. And you know, when you're a kid, if you did this, if you liked it, my grandkids love this. When you do tracing on their skin when they're trying to fall asleep, they like me to trace their back. And it's just really light touch, kind of tickly, light touch on the surface, gives you goosebumps. Wonderful. Hey, I'm going to bring in our warm towel. This facial, I used two warm towels. So the first one was removing our melt away with the grapefruit polishing powder. The second time I pull in is for this peach and honey mask. Two reasons. Um, that honey is a humectant, it's really pulling moisture into the skin. So by using a nice steam towel, we're going to enhance what the honey is doing in the skin. Hastily, this is gonna feel warmer. Is that temperature okay?
Mhm.
Not too hot?
No, it feels good.
Oh, good. If you're an esthetician and watching, I don't know, sometimes you don't learn this in school, but if I leave the all of this weight of this underneath her chin, it can feel uncomfortable. It's better to kinda lift that weight up, lift it off the chin area, fold it a little bit, and then lay it back down on the bottom lip. And it also feels good just to do a little bit of light pressure. Don't push down into their face, but just this nice light pressure. That feels so good. And it's a comforting pressure. It's not too light and it's not too heavy. It's just right in between and it's a confidence. If you're a new esthetician, it takes some confidence in the beginning. Most estheticians, there's can vary, but most estheticians are just a little too timid or light in their touches. And as you gain confidence, you can have a little firmer touch and your client will love it. There are exceptions to that rule, and I've trained a lot of estheticians, and one of my favorite estheticians that I trained, she used to joke that she had man hands, but she would use a lot of pressure, so she kind of learned the opposite, when to let off on that pressure a little bit. Still loved her facials. She gave some of the best facials, okay, now I'm gonna come in here and just make sure that I have it all off. So I'm gonna get my hands a little wet and just see if there's any really slippery spots that indicate to me that I still have some mask on there. A little bit on the forehead here. It just loosens it up. And then I can come in again with my Lush cloth and remove any residue that's left on there. There's a lot going on in my head. I'm thinking about all this while I'm talking to you guys and what I'm doing for Celine and her skin. This is so much better when I demonstrate these home treatments on a client or on a person rather than doing on myself. Because if I'm trying to talk to you guys and do myself, inevitably I hurt myself. If I'm doing a needling treatment, I'm going to be too rough with it or do too many passes with it. It's very hard to talk and to treat yourself kindly at the same time. Okay, make sure I have it all out of her nostrils. Doesn't feel good to keep it there across her lips and behind the ears. So it's all out of that area. Ooh, it's feeling so good. Okay. Now, I want to let her skin dry a little bit because I'm going to be using the Sorella peel pads. We're going to be using the vitamin C pad. It comes as a set of two. So the vitamin C pad is your exfoliating pad, and then the second pad is your mineralizing treatment. And those minerals are fabulous. Copper peptide. I love copper peptide. So firming. And our skin we all just tend to be um, lacking in minerals. Our skin needs more minerals. So this mineral treatment is fabulous. It's very calming and soothing. And we're going to do that right now. Let's do it. So, first step, the vitamin C pad. One out of here we go. I'm going to grab I'm going to grab two so I can be two-handed. But you guys, when you're doing this treatment at home, just use one pad per treatment. These are kind of pad that most people use these just once a week. That's all you need to use them. This is a very gentle form of vitamin C, so if you have milia or sensitive skin, you don't have to worry. This is sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is one of our next generation, more advanced forms of vitamin C. See, I'm using pressure, light pressure, but this is pressing it down into those pores. So she had a little bumpiness and roughness around her chin. So we're really working them in there. These pads are amazing because on one side they have this nice pebbly texture and then they're smooth on the other side. I love this pebbly texture for just increasing that penetration and a little bit more exfoliation. Two times I went over the face, look at the neck. Any areas that you know are just a little bit problematic, as long as they're not sensitive, like, right here where she has a few little bumps, I can do a few extra passes on there to really work those little areas. Sometimes if you have a patch of hyperpigmentation, you can give a little extra love to that, or if you have a little rough texture going on or a little orange peel texture, you can give extra love to those areas. Now I'm gonna grab my mineral pad, and again, I'm gonna grab 2 so we can be quick. 1,
Remember to flip them upside
flip them upside down into the cap.
side.
Oh, I learned these tricks. Thank you.
The
So
pad's a little dry.
they'll get dry. I was noticing you were a little dry, so I was pulling from the bottom. So that's a great trick to know. Every time you use your pads, flip the whole stack over
And then grab.
and then grab the top one. Thank you, Celine.
Welcome.
All these little tricks and tips. Okay, I'm not going to forget that one now. Okay, here we go. We're doing our calming, remineralizing. We've got copper peptide in here. We've got zinc. Everything for calming and firming the skin. Again, using nice pressure as I work this into the skin. I don't want to just lightly swipe it on. I want to press it down into the pores, but don't be too heavy-handed. Don't hurt yourself. Don't make the skin raw or irritated. Sometimes people can take my advice a little too seriously, and hurt their skin or bruise themselves just trying to rub their pads in. So it's just a nice, even pressure to get around the hairline and make sure that we've neutralized all these little areas, the nostrils, and the lips. Wonderful. Next step in our little routine, I'm grabbing the cucumber. Cucumber, aloe. This is a wonderful gel for the eyes. In the summertime, keep it in your refrigerator and put it on. It has this wonderful applicator that stays very cool. It's a special metal. So it's very soothing and feels wonderful. Whoop. You pushed too hard and it exploded out. But you can see how it comes out right there. Actually, this is yogurt. This is the yogurt kale. My recipe has the cucumber aloe, and it's more of a gel, but it's over there. So, and we wanna keep going, so we're gonna substitute our yogurt kale, and that's why it's white on there.
It's good because you said my skin was a little dry.
It's a little dry,
I need a
so
cream.
the cream is gonna give her a little more help with that. Massaging in that area where crow's feet collect. Keeping it to the orbital bone. I'm not getting right onto the like lash line or the very top of the eye. It will automatically travel to those areas, so we don't need to apply it. There, get a little bit on there, apply some little dots, and then massage them around. Now, I kind of thought with Celine's skin, she's usually a little more on that oilier side. And I kind of assumed that she wasn't going to need much moisture after this, that we could maybe even just go right into quench and protect to finish her with. But her skin is sucking up all this water hydration. It needed it. So I'm going to grab the balm. I love the balm, but I'm going to use a small amount and I'm going to use my watermelon hydrating mist with it. So, first things first, I'm going to spritz my hands with the mist. Then I'm going to get a little bit of the balm. And in my hands, I'm gonna mix that together, and then I'm gonna start patting that onto her skin.
Oh my god, that smells crazy good. What is it? That's
So
the
good.
balm?
That's just the balm.
I've never used the balm
I
before. Oh my
have clients whose husbands use this at night, especially if their husbands have dry skin. They love this. The scent of it is so amazing. It's
It's
just
like
just
almost
makes your heart go, it's like apricot again.
but also it's like fruity, but there's also like a green juice aspect in a good way. Like
Yeah.
fresh green juice from
Mhm.
like Jamba Juice. Jamba Juice doesn't do green juice.
The sisters that made this line are geniuses. It's just the most beautiful skincare line and the most perfect line for really nurturing yourself. Okay, so we've got that on. Now I've got to send her protected into the day. So I'm grabbing Quench and Protect. And this is probably our one of our top three selling sunscreens all year round because it is so hydrating and many times a mineral sunscreen for somebody with dry skin can feel drying after a little bit. This does not do that. Stays very hydrating and moist, and it makes an excellent primer if you wear foundation. Around here, we like to use Color Science Flex for our foundation, but we still put this underneath. So we're layering our sunscreens. We just love the way this one goes on and the humidity it brings to the skin in such a positive way, really give you that glass skin glow. Let's get some more and do her chest.
a break from working in the middle of the workday. Get
She asked if she could be the model for our show today. Lift your head just a little bit and look. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so beautiful. It turned out amazing. She's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna open up for questions. So let me put on the show on my phone, and that way I can see. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Too many apps open on the phone today. Okay, there it is. Found the link. I'm gonna do just like you guys do. Follow the link, get to the show, turn the volume off so we don't hear me talking twice. Get some glasses on so I can read. I'm gonna get the balm on the glasses. Okay, let's go back and oh my goodness, so many questions and stuff today. Hello, everyone. Hi, Shelley. Nicole, I love you too. She says she loves our company. We appreciate you so much. You guys are what makes our dream come true and our passions come true because this is what we love. My husband always says it's a good thing you work in skincare because so you love it. All right. What is Joseph wants to know, what is the difference between the powder enzyme and Sorella? So we answered that. The powder enzyme has a little more grit to it and also has some acids in it. It's going to be a little more drying, which can be good for a more combo oily skin, but it also can be mixed with so many things. Are they duplicating each other or could you potentially mix them? And is there a scent in the Sorella one? You know, Joseph, it's such an amazing question. I have never thought of mixing those two together. So I can't tell you what would happen, but I'm going to try it. I will try it tonight and I'll send you a message. I'm going to have Celine smell it on my hand I'm going to rub it in a little bit so she doesn't get it into her nose. That would not feel good. Any scent to it at all? Not
no,
really.
and my face is covered in so
She's already got so many scents. So I don't think there's really a scent to that one at all. I don't think either of those two enzyme products really have any scent to them. And you probably don't need to mix them together. You probably just need one or the other, and you'll do just fine. You'll do great with them. It's nice to rotate things up a bit as you use up one, switch to the other, give it a try. Okay. Some more hellos and highs. Cheryl says, your hair looks awesome. Thank you. I'm going through grow out. So it's funny. Some people like my hair more straight and some people like it curly. So it's always fun to hear that. Especially good fun to hear that it's looking good when you're doing a grow out, right? Okay. Anthony says, great tip with the flipping the pads. Yes, I needed that tip myself. Cheryl's liking this format. Good. Would you avoid sun after these products? Well, sure. I'm not going to go out to the pool. I'm not going to lay in the sun or be outdoors after using my peel pads. That's kind of a given. Usually, when we're using those peel pads, I do it in the nighttime. It's actually part of my PM summer skin cycling. I do them once a week at nighttime. And so, yeah, you definitely don't want them on your skin while you are in the baking sun. But the next day you're going to be fine as long as you're using your regular sunscreen. And Joseph, you're in San Francisco, so you guys don't have too much sun to worry about. It's not like you're further north like we are, where that sun is killing us. Okay, Marco, would you have time to demo your facial massage flow? Sorry, I'm using my husband's account. Oh, that's who Marco's. Um, I can do that another time. We're not going to be able to go back and redo the facial massage again. Can you do the lymph drainage by yourself? Yes, absolutely. Everything I did in that lymphatic drainage is something that you can do on yourself. So if I have two tools, let me wipe off the product I have on there. Two tools. I'm just going to come in here and I'm do all those draining movements on myself, coming up underneath, draining down. All that can be done on yourself. Sometimes when I'm at the bathhouse, don't have my tools, I'm just soaking in the bathhouse, I will use my hands and I just use these are my that's my gua sha tools right there. And I'm using my hands to push that lymph out. So if you know that direction of lymph flow, it's real easy just to use your hands to push and just gently pull all that out and drain it down. Remember to drain it down and clear that out from here. Yeah, some of you joined and I already did all that stuff. You can watch this later. It'll come back on. We'll go in and add a few more details in the description, but this will be live for you to go back to anytime you want. You can order whichever products you want to add, order everything that you need to do this facial at home, and then put it on and do it with me. Just let me guide you along as you go. Okay, I think I got all the questions. Let me make sure. We did. Really? Oh, now I'm on a different video. Here you go. All right. Wonderful. I just want to thank you all for joining me today. It's a little longer show when we do this. We're at 55 minutes. That's a long time. You guys that hung out with me here, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. If you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments underneath the YouTube video. I check those every day and I'll get back to you and give you the best answers that I can. You can also always go over to Artist Skincare, and our estheticians are on live chat and you can ask them all these questions. They're all trained by me. We all recommend and know the same products. We know what we love, and we're here to share that with you. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll be back here again next Tuesday for another show. So see you then. Bye, guys. Okay, people can watch me as I try to figure out how to turn it off. Oh, did I just hit this X? Bye bye.